Hi, good morning. I just wanted to make a semi-quick video here to recap all the other videos I've just posted, and most importantly, it was just kind of about my surgery. I had the double mastectomy with placement of tissue expanders in Alloderm January 12th of 2021. A few random things I wanted to kind of backtrack on and just throw out there is the importance of your family history. So we all know when we go to the doctor's office, doesn't matter where we're going or what we're being seen for, they're going to ask those kind of questions typically. What's your family history? Maternal, paternal. So if you don't know, ask. Yeah. I had a aunt on my father's side, my Aunt Janet, who was diagnosed with breast cancer. I'm thinking she was in her mid-50s. She passed away, I think, probably 4 or 5 years after her diagnosis. Unfortunately, it spread to, I think, her lungs and maybe her brain. We can't remember, not 100% sure exactly what kind it was or whatnot. But we do know that mine was not genetic. So there's genetic testing, BRCA, BRCA, that will tell you if it's genetics. Mine was not. So it did not come from her. It was not passed down in my genes. I did not have that mutation. And my girls, Parker and Avery, should be fine too, maybe. I'm just gonna keep on them though. They're constantly finding new research, and it's just the health industry is just growing and growing and growing, and they're learning so much more every day. So I'm not gonna put it past the girls to be super cautious when it comes to the tatas. Yeah. So, and one of those things, like I said, I wasn't the good patient. I didn't do my self-breast exams, but you had this, or I had this, oh, it'll never happen to me kind of syndrome. If I look back 5 years ago, when you think of the future, where are you going to be in 5 years? This is not what I expected, right? I lost my mom unexpectedly. I was diagnosed with breast cancer. We made a military move. There's just been a lot that's happened in this short amount of time that I didn't see or expect. So I've got that live for every day attitude now, and it can happen to me. And I apologize throughout this journey. I just don't remember a whole lot. I'm trying, when I watch the old videos, trying to remember, what was my recovery like? So I'm trying my best. I also wanted to mention a shout out to where I worked, Rockwood, endocrinology and diabetes, with the company of Multicare. It was after I met with my second opinion, Stephanie Moline with Cancer Care Northwest, that surgery was basically going to be the next week. It all happened very quickly. And she was explaining, during COVID, if I tested positive for COVID, you have to wait 30 days before they can then do the surgery. What do you do for work, and how can we make sure you're healthy? So I immediately went over there. I went to my manager. I was just like, hey, Joe, this is what's going on, and can I work from home? And he's like, yep. So we packed up my computer, all my belongings, got home, set it all up, spoke with IT, and worked from home. So they were an awesome support system during that time. And I was very appreciative of that. So yeah, I met with Stephanie. She talked with David and I for like 2 hours. Do I remember what she said? Probably not. But she went on and on about it, about the type of cancer I had and what to do and da-da-da-da-da. And then, so my plastic surgeon is Dr. Chad Wheeler with Plastic Surgery Northwest. I actually worked with them for just a little bit. And I got a call from him that night after meeting with Stephanie, and he was like, hey, we're going to take care of you. When can you get in? Right. So I saw him within a couple days, and then had my consultation with him. So did the consultation turned into a pre-op just to get that done and out of the way. Some fun things we talked about was breast size, and going into it, I've always thought I've been kind of part of the itty bitty titty committee, and wanted larger breasts if I ever had the choice. But so I was like, oh, I'm probably like a B, small C, large B, and he did some measurements, and he's like, nope, actually you're measuring a C cup. And I was like, what, really? So, we talked about that. I was like, I would like to be the same size, or I'd like to be larger than the size that I am now. And, we talked about the breast reconstruction options, whether I wanted to do implants or, tissue. And I really want to do tissue. That's the deep inferior epigastric perforator, just because. So basically, they're just going to take my belly and make my breasts from my stomach. But one thing, let me just add here. Will that be nice? Yeah. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think you should. I would not like to hear or ever tell a breast cancer patient, well, at least you're getting a boob job. I'll just leave it at that. So yeah, that's the plan. But in the meantime, I still needed to undergo chemo. So, we can't do that right then. So they go in, do the double mastectomy, take out all my breast tissue. And we actually had to remove the cancer was on the left side. So they removed that left nipple as well, because the tumor was too close to the nipple. Then they put in what's called a tissue expander. It's an implant. But they have these little ports here. At the time of surgery, they fill it up with air, 500 cc's of air. And then I actually went in, I don't know if it was 1 week or 2 weeks after he took out the air, and then just filled them both up with 500 cc's. That was pretty intense. But, after the surgery, they look crazy, and it depends on the angle and whatever. But the swelling does go down, and it did get better. Let's see, Alloderm. So, lymph node wise, on the left side, left axillary side, there was one lymph node that was cancerous. I think they took out like 15 lymph nodes out of the left and 5 out of the right. Because there were so many taken from the left, the plastic surgeon, to my understanding, took part of my left pec muscle and looped it over somehow to my left armpit to fill up some kind of a gap. When they put in those tissue expanders, he put in Alloderm. It's cadaver skin. but it's there to just kind of help replace some of that lost breast tissue to support the implant. I don't know all the science behind it, but I imagine it goes through a lengthy process where I think they like remove this cells, the cadaver, the donator cells, something like that. So that's in there. Recovery. I remember being super itchy. Of course, your body's trying to heal, right? And you just get really itchy. But there's like this itch that you can't scratch. It's like a deep itch. It's really odd. You're just sitting there, you're like scratching, and it just won't go away. I feel that my recovery was not only physical, but mental as well. You can't do a whole lot, so you're there with your thoughts and your mind is going, and you're in pain, or you just don't feel good, or you're itching and you can't relieve it. You know what I'm saying? Like it really got to you mentally. Me personally. And then I feel like I never really cried about this whole thing. I was never really upset or angry. But during my recovery in the shower, when and so you can only move your arms like this, like a 45-degree angle, there was a lot that I needed help with, at least for the first week. But my husband, David, was helping me shower, and the floodgates just opened, and I felt so helpless. And, here I am. I was 34 in the shower, and my husband was having to help bathe me. It was just, it was a pivotal moment for me and him. The only other thing I have written down here is, two other things. Just, I knew my breasts would be numb. Like, you can't feel any of this, but it also, like, radiated. It was also like that in my sides, and it still kind of is, and it just feels really weird. I remember being extremely sore, like my shoulder blades and my back. You can't put any hot or cold presses on your breast, but I could on my shoulder blades. I remember just laying on a, heating pad, and that helped. But, just being sore, just kind of all over. And I'm a side sleeper, and not sleeping on your side for quite some time. So that was really hard too, trying to get comfortable. Always sitting on your butt, not laying down completely flat. I think that is it. I probably forgot some stuff, but that's okay. This is a pretty long video. I wasn't expecting to go 14 minutes, but I did. Again, if there's anybody out there that has some other questions, or just wants to reach out and chat, please feel free to contact me via YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. That's why I'm doing this. So hit me up if you need to. Thanks. Bye.